Hare Krishna, dear friends. Please accept my humble respects. Please give me your blessings that I become a good Hindu preacher. Hinduism should be propagated on a wide scale all over the country, all over the world. I'm actually quite sad today, and I heard something very disturbing about a few devotees who went to Kailash Manasarovar yathra, and they are stranded there because of floods. They can't go front, they can't come back, and they are not getting enough food supplies to eat. Another devotee from Kakinada, which is a port on the east coast of Andhra Pradesh, which is part of India, had uh, left his body, died in the Kailash and Manasarovar Yatra. It's a very sad occurrence, and I wanted to request you, plead you, beg you to consider not going to Kailash or Manasarovar Yatra. Yes, it is true that Siva Purana recommends that we visit Kailash and Manasarovar Yatra. Every instruction has a time, place, and circumstance. Practically, today in Hinduism, we have lost sight of the time, place, and circumstance. The purpose of pilgrimage is really to listen to saintly people and learn from them. Tirthi kurvanti tirthani. This is, I think, Srimad Bhagavatam, 1st canto, 11th chapter. And the same principle is discussed over and over in Srimad Bhagavatam, for example, in 12th canto, etc. So, Tirthi kurvanti tirthani. The primary purpose of pilgrimage is to go and meet saintly people and learn from them. One of the other videos which I was watching about Kailash was also very, very disturbing. This is a person who was maybe 40 or 45 years old. He reached Mount Kailash, but he is definitely short of breath. He is not able to breathe, and he is reciting Sanskrit slokas, and he is actually a person who is able to speak in Sanskrit. You know, he's kind of like a native speaker of Sanskrit. He's very, very fluent in Sanskrit. You see, being sentimental about God is nice, but trying to be organized and trying to think from God's perspective, asking what God wants from us, that is even better. And today, most of the time in Hinduism, we are just being sentimental and not applying our mind. Siva Purana mentions hundreds of things which we should do. Why would we pick only the toughest thing to do? Siva Purana says chant Satakoti Gayatri, which is 100 crore Gayatri mantras. It says plant trees. It says do so many other austerities. Why do we have to choose the most toughest one? Is Lord Shiva a short-sighted person? Lord Shiva is a very, very intelligent person, right? Does he not know that he has to deliver us, and he will? We need his help to be delivered, and all those things. Is Lord Shiva short-sighted that he will deliver us only if we go to Mount Kailash? Why do we have to take this attitude? You see, the Hindu Brahmanas have become very weak. Hardly any Brahmana seriously does Gayatri these days. And we don't prioritize God. We don't prioritize reading Bhagavad Gita, Mahabharat, living the words of Dharma, Ramayana, Srimad Bhagavatam, etc. Should we not be doing that as opposed to going on sentimental trips like Mount Kailash and Manasarovar, which are very expensive and the pilgrims might even die? I have made videos earlier talking about the lack of air safety in Nepal. For example, recently the Bangladesh Airlines flight crashed in Nepal and everybody on the flight died. And the Nepal guys, they don't even want to admit that their air traffic control protocols are immature and childish. If I listened to the air traffic conversation of the flight and it is ridiculous. And then, the airstrips are very small, the weather does not cooperate. And, powerful people of India have died in helicopter crashes, right? The Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh, one of the richest persons in India, Dr. Rajshekhar Reddy, he died in a helicopter crash. Yeah, we don't exactly know how he died, but everybody knows that he died in a helicopter crash. So, people with power died in a helicopter crash. What to speak about mere mortals like us? Of course, bhaktas are very powerful. They are directly backed by Lord Chaitanya, Lord Venkateshwara, Lord Krishna, Lord Nityananda, Lord Shiva, Parvati Devi, Durga Devi, etc. Bhaktas are very powerful. But why would we want to take service from Lord Shiva or Parvati Devi? It is our duty to serve them. We are their servants. We don't want to take service from them. They shouldn't have to bother to try and save us. They have enough things to manage. We need to behave properly that we don't get ourselves into trouble. And Hinduism desperately needs systematic preaching. We are not having enough preachers. Practically, the younger generation doesn't believe in God. And you see that even the pious Brahmana people are eating meat. That's what is our next generation. Instead of going to Mount Kailash or Manasarovar Yatra, shouldn't the pious people of Andhra Pradesh, of South India, of India, or the world actually invest in preaching the glories of Bhagavad Gita or preaching the glories of Lord Venkateshwara to our younger kids? Would Lord Shiva want us to visit Manasarovar, or would Lord Shiva want us to read Siva Purana and motivate others to read Siva Purana? Lord Shiva is not narrow-minded. He will understand that if you cannot go to Manasarovar and if you can serve him in other ways, he will understand that and he will deliver you anyway. It's actually very, very short-sighted, maybe even childish to go to Manasarovar and Mount Kailash. This is where the innocent, good-meaning bhaktas are falling prey to the business interests and Hindu religious marketing. Practically, Hinduism has become hodgepodge. Nobody has a clear understanding of anything at this point. That is a reality. If you don't believe in me, please bring 4 Brahmanas into a room and ask them to discuss God and see if they agree on anything. They will not, and Hinduism has become very, very hodgepodge. You do whatever nonsense you want to do and everything will be all right. That is what is going on in the name of Hinduism. Please don't get me wrong. Hindus are extremely pious people. They are the best in the world. They can save the whole world from an Armageddon. The whole world is headed towards a nuclear war or an Armageddon at this point, if you are following the world news. Hindus are very, very pious people. They are devotees. They are bhaktas. They are dear to God. But at some point, We need to think what we are doing and cooperate with God, not just do things whimsically. We are doing things whimsically. We don't have any organization at this point. Now, organization does not mean we drop all our differences of opinion, but organization means we at least try to think what we are trying to do, what our goal is, and try to act according to our goals so that we can meet them. It is very, very distressing to see devotees die on Manasarovar Yatra where they don't have food or they get stuck in floods, they can't go front, they can't come back. And so many people sign up for these trips without knowing what the risks are. On top of it, if I were to tell people, don't go to Kailash or Manasarovar Yatra, people just get upset. Oh, Sudhakar has gone to America, he joined Hare Krishna, and now he thinks he knows everything. And just because he's a Krishna devotee, he's saying Shiva devotees should not go to Manasarovar or Mount Kailash. No, Lord Shiva would prefer that you read Siva Purana, chant Gayatri, or preach about Lord Shiva than see him in Manasarovar and Mount Kailash. Anyway, what do? We just go to Manasarovar, Mount Kailash, take bath, and after that we just litter the place, right, with all our trash. For example, that is what is happening on Mount Everest. All the mountaineers climb up Mount Everest and just trash the place. We have no morals in our society. We just trash everything. I personally know some excellent devotees, very, very close, who went to Manasarovar, took bath, and then they had health problems. And the doctor says, hey, you should return back to your base camp or you risk falling into coma. Your medical numbers are falling down, and if they fall down more, you'll fall into coma. Please go back. Do we have to risk all these things? Better than Manasarovar is we chant the names of God. Chant Om Namah Shivaya. Please chant the whole day. You see, Hinduism is in a crisis of understanding. Today, if a person it is prescribed that he should chant some mantra or something, we just hire some brahmanas, make them chant in our name and transfer the credit. What nonsense is that? The transferring of credit is only for people who cannot get up. It's only for the disabled. Today, we say, oh, I have this problem, I have this thing which has to get fixed. We'll hire this brahmana, he'll chant, let's say 10,000 Gayatri mantras for me, or he will chant 10,000 Om Namah Shivaya mantra for me, and I will be freed of my reaction. That is what is being marketed in Hinduism today. It's a shame, actually. And our brahmanas have fallen down. They have lost their ability to think. I'm sorry, I'm being harsh. That is the reality. Brahmanas have stopped doing Gayatri. They don't believe in Gayatri anymore, and they have lost the ability to think. And this thing of hiring somebody to do japa for us is not authorized by Sripada Sankaracharya, Sripada Ramanujacharya, Sripada Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. We have to do our own sadhana. Instead of going here and there, please sit at home. Please do your sadhana seriously. Chant the names of God. Do Saligrama worship if you really like to. Or, read Siva Purana, etc. And preach. Preach Bhagavad Gita. Preach, Siva Purana. Preach Srimad Bhagavatam. Or just go out into the streets and do Nagar Sankirtan. Please don't go to Manasarovar and Mount Kailash. It's very, very distressing to see devotees in trouble, who are in the middle of floods, who are not getting enough food to eat in Kailash and Manasarovar. It's very distressing to see people who have died on the trip. One of my friends, actually, His Holiness Indrajumna Swami, is one of the sannyasis, one of the senior preachers for ISKCON. He went to Kailash and Manasarovar Yatra, and one of my friends went with him. And this guy felt very, very, very sick at Manasarovar, and he had to be flown back. And as he was being flown back, the Chinese mafia interfered and created a lot of problems. Now, the salesperson does not tell you of all these risks. I'm sorry that I'm making this video. I'm very, very happy. Please read Bhagavad Gita. Please read Siva Purana. Please read Ashtadasa Puranas. Chant Vedic mantras. This is the most important instruction in Vedic literature. Lord Shiva will understand if you don't get to go to Manasarovar and Mount Kailash. There are better ways to serve Lord Shiva than go to Mount Kailash and Manasarovar. Please excuse me if I have hurt anybody. I'm good intentioned, well-meaning person. I wish you the very best of luck. Please read Siva Purana. It's very, very blissful. Thank you. Hare Krishna.